See a little bit of cloud cover starting to tower here this afternoon along the Front Range, although I think we're still at least another hour or two away from seeing thunderstorms here in Metro Denver. Up to 77 degrees right now downtown. It's definitely a little hazy outside. You can see the moisture that will fuel thunderstorms here this afternoon. As I mentioned earlier in the show, today's really not a tornado day. We're not concerned about tornadoes at this time, but we are concerned about wind that could make its way up to 60 miles per hour, especially with thunderstorms out on the eastern plains. And then hail is also a concern, at least 1-inch diameter hail from some of these thunderstorms, mainly on the south side of the metro area and then out on the plains. We'll get into more details on that in a moment. And then flooding is also a concern. July is our wettest month of the year, and that's because thunderstorms are always capable of producing some very heavy rain this time of year, and today will be no exception. So it's possible there could be some minor street flooding if one of those torrential downpours hits your area. Wind coming out of the east here today. It's been out of the east all day long. That's what's helping to transport humidity from Nebraska and Kansas into our state. Dew point, we don't talk about dew point all that much because frankly it's usually irrelevant in Colorado, but dew point numbers are in the 50s. The higher these numbers are, the more moisture there is in the air. Typically our dew points are in the 20s and 30s around here. That's what you see over here in the mountains where it's much drier. Most mountain areas will actually stay dry this afternoon. Summit County up into Grand County, all the way up into Routt County. I'd be surprised if you see much of any thunderstorm activity. And again, it's just the difference in the dew points, much drier in the mountains and on the western slope compared to this extra moisture we have in the air here along the Front Range and on the plains. In south central Colorado, already seeing some thunderstorm activity, both sides of the San Luis Valley, here in the Sangre de Cristos and the eastern San Juans. And this is a loop just in the last 2 hours. And just in that time, 120 minutes, look at all these thunderstorms that have quickly developed. Up in Chaffee County around Salida and Buena Vista, we have some storm activity. Those storms coming off the Collegiate Peaks. And just in the last, I'd say 20, 30 minutes, starting to see a few raindrops developing now up along Highway 285 near Conifer. That activity will continue to develop here over the next few hours. We expect the most intense storm activity to stay south of Interstate 70 this afternoon, and especially down in Douglas and Elbert counties. That's where the strongest storms and the highest potential for those storms to be severe will be. And then as the storms make their way onto the eastern plains, you can almost guarantee we'll see at least a couple of severe storms in northeast Colorado. It's been a rough week or so up that way. We've seen a lot of storm activity, and we're going to see more of it. All these areas shaded in yellow is where we're most concerned about severe weather. That does include the entire metro area, but again, we're most concerned about areas south of I-70. Because of all the moisture, temperatures won't warm up as much today. 80s for highs. Tomorrow, we're back in the 90s, and then we'll stay in the 90s through the weekend. Storm chances drop to 20% for tomorrow and Thursday, and then those storm chances increase again for Friday and the weekend. Andrea?
Ashton, thank you so much. Coming up, how the